Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Solar Moonbird. Um, we're back with Kitsune, ANBU Naruto slash Gaanaru. Um, sorry if I sound a little weird. I just took some cough medicine. Um, we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. You guys might be able to hear in the background every once in a while. Some music. I have that going so that I can hear it. So that I can barely hear it. It is at 6 volume on my TV. Can you hear it? It's Breeze Blocks by Alt slash J. Alt J is I don't know how to say it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say something right now. I'm so used to playing Minecraft that I'm sitting here with my headphones around my neck with my mic right in front of my face. And then I'm ready to start playing. I have my hands and everything ready to start like moving around, even though I'm not playing Minecraft right now. Um So this is the next chapter of ANBU Naruto slash of Kitsune ANBU Naruto slash Gaanaru. Um, chapter 12, I believe. Okay, and it starts with this. Here we go. It's for a mission, Auntie, I sighed. She scoffed. That explains why an ANBU is taking the tuning exams. I groaned and smashed my head into the wall, making a huge dent. Sorry, I paused. I had to turn the music down a little bit. It's an SS class mission. I'm sorry, Auntie, I whispered. She rolled her eyes and smacked me over the head. I've got some dongo. I think that's how you spell it. I can't say it, not spell it. God, I can't speak right now. I've been recording all night. I've got some dongo. Let's dig in. She smiled. I chuckled and took one from her. We sat eating dongo until the rest of the getting arrived. Narutobaka, you get to sit around eating dongo while we have to walk all the way here, the banshee screamed. I laughed. Oh, come on, I had a little talk with my aunt. What's so bad about that? I asked. She hit me over the head, and I got a serious sense of deja vu. Auntie sent a sinbon my way, and it grazed my cheek. I basically let it hit me because Auntie could have her fun, and Kurama would be able to heal it in like 2 seconds. I told Kurama to hold off on healing it, or people will get people will get sus. I hate saying the word sus. So, or people will get suspicious. There we go. Then this bitch with a long ass tongue fucking grabbed the Sinbon with their tongue and gave it to Auntie. I pinched my nose at the smell of snake. Damn you, Kurama, for giving me. Wait. I gave Auntie eyes of warning and made the sign for snake. Her eyes widened and she nodded. I leaned over to the rest of my squad and whispered, Don't go as far as 5 steps away from me when we're in there, I demanded. They gave a single nod and our attention turned back to Auntie. In this exam, you will have to collect 2 scrolls, a heaven and an earth scroll. Each team has one, and your job is to take a scroll from another team. Go get your scrolls from that tent over there, and remember, don't look at the scrolls until you reach the tower. This exam will go on for 5 days. She smirked. I shook my head and laughed softly. I turned around and met Gaara's eye. He blushed, and I winked at him. He turned away from me, and I headed into the tent with Team 7. We lined up after we got our And we lined up after we got our heaven scroll, and as soon as Anko said start, I grabbed Sasuke and Sakura's hands and bolted in the gates. I found the first set of ninja and grabbed their scroll. Damn it, same type. I yelled. Sasuke sighed and Sakura groaned. At least we can give this one to the other rookie 9, I muttered. They agreed, and Sakura put the scroll in her pouch. We all headed off again, and I found Kiba, Shino, Hinata stalking the Sand siblings. I snickered at the shocked faces of the rookies as Gaara killed someone. Started started walking with Sakura and Sasuke out to where Gaara was. Hello, I greeted as the siblings flipped around. I smiled. What scroll did you get? Oh, I asked. They seemed hesitant. Oh, come on, little flower. Consider this as a thanks for the written exam, I teased. Gaara rolled his eyes. It was completely useless, and it was completely useless. Besides, how will we know you're not a clone or someone using a transformation jutsu? My little flower asked. I thought about it. You are a smart one, but transformation jutsu and clones disappear when damage is inflicted to them, no? I asked. They hesitantly nodded, and I smiled. I took out a kunai and sliced my arm. Naruto, they all screamed. I shrugged and it started healing. That enough proof? I asked, with a small giggle. I swear you're more insane than Gaara, Konkoro muttered, earning a punch to his shoulder courtesy of Gaara. I guess it is. We got an Earth scroll, but we got a double now. Tamari sighed. I smirked and held my hand out to Sakura, and she handed me our extra. I held it out to them, and they looked confused. Okay, hang on. And they looked confused. You're giving it to us for free? Gaara asked. I smirked. Well, now that you mentioned it, I trailed off. Konkoro groaned with Sasuke. You're in for it now, Gaara. Sasuke sighed. I smirked and Sasuke returned it. Ah, god dang, it's stupid scroll. Sorry, whenever I scroll, it goes down either too far or not far enough. Gaara got into a fighting position, and I chuckled. Nothing like that, flower. I smirked. He blushed and huffed and refused to look at me. I want a kiss, I stated proudly to Gaara. And then there's dots. God, I hate the dots because it just makes the thing seem longer than it actually is. What? He yelled. I smirked. Tamari was joking. Hang on, I need I need to calm down because I'm smiley now and I'm gonna start getting giggly and I'm not gonna be able to read. Tamari was choking and Konkoro was laughing so hard he was crying. And my little red flower was as red as a flower. No way, I'm finding another scroll, he yelled. I quirked an eyebrow at him. I'm giving you the offer of a lifetime. I don't let many people close to me, I pouted. Gaara glared at me. Oh, come on, just on the cheek, I whined. He growled and walked up to me. You better keep your end of the bargain up or I'll kill you. He growled and quickly pecked me on the cheek and stepped back blushing. I smirked. See, that wasn't so bad. Here's your scroll. Oh, I just realized what song was playing. Warriors by Imagine Dragons. Love the song. I smiled and handed him the scroll. He snatched it out of my hands and walked over to the very, very scared siblings. Konkoro handed me the other scroll and I thanked him. Dude, don't thank me. I haven't seen Gaara like that ever. He smiled. I laughed and turned to Tamari, who was trying to calm Gaara down. We're headed to the middle now. Oof. Then we're going to head to my house. Want to come with? Naruto Baka, we can't go outside the exam grounds. We'll be kicked out, Sakura yelled. I froze. We wouldn't be, I whispered. Sasuke came over to me. Are you okay? Are you sure you trust them with this? He whispered. I smiled and nodded. Just follow me. There's a snake in these walls. That makes me think of a Toy Story reference. There's a snake in my boot. I'm such a child. Oh my god. Uh, I gotta find where I was. I growled. Everyone flinched at my tone, but I took a deep breath to contain myself. Let's go. Ooh, this is a good song. Okay, let's go, Sasuke said, putting a hand on my shoulder. I nodded and saw my flower get a wave of anger when Sasuke touched me, and that filled me. Sasuke, let's look out for your lover boy Neji. Maybe we can help him, I smirked. Sasuke lit up like fire and he punched me. He doesn't even know I like him, Dobe. Stop, he demanded. I chuckled and sent a glance in Gar's direction. It looked like a wave of relief was washed over him. I smiled, content, and closed my eyes. On the other hand, Sakura was too fucking shocked to form sentences, realizing that Sasuke was gay. Smirking, I started walking to the middle. I heard several pairs of footsteps and was glad to see that everyone was following me. Sasuke, get your ass over here. I need to talk to you, I demanded. I heard him jogging up beside me, and I turned to him, opening my eyelids. Ever heard of Orochimaru? I asked quietly. He gave a quick nod. Well, he's that dude with the long ass tongue from earlier. And I think he's after you, I whispered. God damn my fucking mouse. Sorry for the cough. I whispered. He choked and looked at me. What? What he? What would he want with? Okay, that sounds very wrong. Whenever I read it like that, it says what? What would he want with fucking me? What would he fucking want with me? Is what I think it was trying to say. He yelled. I sighed and gave him a dead look. Last fucking Uchiha, remember? I deadpanned. He oohed and nodded. Just stick close, I ordered. He gave a quick nod, and after an hour we reached the tower. I turned to the Sam siblings. Meet out here in 10 minutes or less if you're coming, I ordered. They nodded and headed into our section of the tower. And I headed into our section of the tower. I opened the scrolls and Naruto popped out. He was about to hit me when I caught his hand. Watch it, pretty boy, I warned. He looked around shocked. Damn it, I keep forgetting who you are, he groaned. I chuckled and he explained the next test. When we finished, we said our goodbyes and walked outside to meet the Sand siblings. God damn it. I've now got a tickle in my throat. I will start recording in just a second. Okay, we're back. When we got there, they were waiting for us. Gar looked like he was about to fall asleep, and Tamari looked at me and realized he's just tired. We just had a long talk with our father. She rolled her eyes. I nodded and looked at Gara. Oof. I am so sorry for that. I just drank some Mountain Dew to get rid of that tickle in my throat. Gara, if you give me another kiss, I'll carry you to my house, I offered. He seemed too tired to care. That's very tired. I chuckled and leaned down in front of him. He looked confused. Hop on, I smiled. You're not gonna make me kiss you? He slurred from tiredness. I chuckled while the other getting snickered. No, I know you're too tired to think straight, and I know you would regret it. I never force anyone to do anything, I whispered. Sasuke noticed how quiet I got and hugged me. I hugged back and leaned back down towards Gaara. Well, wanna ride or not? I asked softly with no. Well, you wanna ride or not? I asked softly with no bite. He hesitantly climbed on, and I hooked my arms under his legs. This way, I half shouted to the others. They nodded and started following me. We walked about 20 minutes before I heard a tiny whisper in my ear. Thank you. It was so quiet I thought I was hearing things for a minute. What surprised me even more was when my little flower pecked me on the cheek. Pride filled inside me as Gaara snuggled into my back, and I heard little snores. After another 20 minutes, we arrived at my house, and I stopped walking, making the others confused. Ah! I exclaimed softly. I carefully handed Kankuro Gaara, made a few hand signs, and the Uzumaki compound came into view. I welcome you to the Uzumaki compound. I smiled. Everyone stared at it in awe. I thought you lived in an apartment, Sakura thought aloud. I chuckled. Well, I own both. The apartment is kind of like a decoy. I mean, you guys know about my parents. I chuckled. Their sign is kind of popular, so, but so popular that people forget who it belongs to. I chuckled. Who are your parents? Tamari asked. I sighed and took a glance at Gaara. It's only fair if Gaara's awake when I tell my fucked up backstory. I sighed. She nodded and I led them inside. Hang on. Oh shit, I muttered. What? Well, I have my own bedroom and Sasuke does as well, but for for the reason that he's been over a lot. Each of the rooms have two beds, but my room, I said. Sasuke smirked, and I sighed. Well, it's reasonable for Tamari and Sakura to share a room. That leaves us four. I point to Kankuro, Gaara, Sasuke, and myself. Well, I'm sleeping in my room, Sasuke demanded. I rolled my eyes. Yes, your highness, I groaned. The girls went upstairs and Sasuke joined them, carrying who went with him. I honestly think you and Gaara should share a room. I'm down for sharing with Sasuke and it would make Gaara flustered. Kankuro chuckled evilly. I shook my head and laughed softly. Hang on, I need to check how long. Oof. Kankuro handed me Gaara and I debated what to do. Waking up in a bed would probably freak him out. I should probably just wake him up here. Gaara, wake up, my little flower, I whispered. His eyes fluttered open softly and I smiled at him. We're at my house, little flower, I whispered. He became flustered. Don't call me that. He argued. I smiled disappointedly. All right, Gaara, while I hate to tell you, but you'll be sleeping in my room, I told him softly. His eyes widened and I couldn't tell if he was scared or not. I'll sleep on the couch in my room, all right? He nodded and I helped him up to his feet. I'll show you where you'll sleep, I told him. He nodded and I led him to my room. He looked around my room carefully and I chuckled sadly. Please do not take me for a bad person. Please believe me, Gaara. I would never touch you without permission. I would never hurt you, little Gaara. I stopped myself. He nodded hesitantly and I gave him a small smile. You're free to use the shower if you please. Thank you, Naruto. That is it for the chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is already almost 20 minutes long, and I hate how long this took to read. But I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. Love you.